Hey guys, what is up? Mega Gamer here, and welcome to this is my first impressions on the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta. Now today is the 7th, so I've had at least 3-4 days. It feels like more than that. I've had a fair few days to play the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta over the past week, and overall I am extremely happy of it. It is such a blast. It is very addicting, and I have a lot of positive things to say. Couple of little, hints and suggestions maybe, but for the most part, this is an incredible multiplayer. Probably one of the best multiplayers I've played in a very long time, and I'm very excited to, return to Uncharted next gen, because this truly does feel like Uncharted next gen. Just everything we've seen so far about the story and playing this multiplayer and how it feels and plays and looks and feels, it's insane. It is awesome. Now I made a lot of dot points. So I'm gonna try and get in as deep as deep as I can, digesting this multiplayer and giving my thoughts on as much specific things as possible about it. Now, what you were seeing on the screen, I am playing my first 2 matches ever. So I didn't have commentary on either of them, so that's why I'm playing it here. So what you're watching now is the first ever match of Uncharted where I've played, and as I recall, I actually did alright in both of them. So hey. I've also uploaded, my previous video was just me playing Uncharted 4 with a few days experience, the multiplayer, just about 7 matches for about an hour. Definitely watch that. That's just me doing live commentary to that, and that's a lot of fun, so check it out. I give some of my, opinions in there as well, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to revisit all of that now in more detail. One thing I also just realized, I went back through my channel because I realized a lot of people who came to my channel, especially in the early years, came from my Uncharted videos. A lot of people loved my Uncharted 3 videos in particular. I never really did videos on Uncharted 1 or 2 since I started my channel in 2011, and I was incredibly hyped for Uncharted 3, and I played the beta and the subway beta and did all this stuff even before the game came out. And then I did several videos on literally every DLC that came out. Maybe not the hat stuff, but like every map pack and new game mode and everything they introduced in that regard. I did several videos on all of them. I realized, I just checked, including my full playthrough of Uncharted 3, and my gameplay of the subway beta, the original beta, some of my split screen videos, and all of the DLC that came in, like the elimination game mode, the co-op shade survival thing, all of the map packs, like the Drake's Deception map pack, the flashback map pack, all of that, 172 videos. Not even news related Uncharted 3 videos, just actual my gameplay of Uncharted 3. I did 172 videos of. That is insane. Now, this is my second Uncharted 4 video, and they're both of the beta, so that's kind of, it's kind of coming full circle now. It's a really great feeling. But I'm sorry for taking up your time. Just enjoy the gameplay, and I'm going to give you my first impressions right now. I just felt that was really important to get out of the way, because, Uncharted's had a huge history on my channel, especially, so it's great that, again, it's coming full circle, and we can enjoy the inevitable release of Uncharted 4, and of course the multiplayer beta right now. So let's begin. So obviously, you got the little menus you navigate through. They're pretty similar to Uncharted. You got Uncharted TV. Obviously your loadouts and your customizable and all of that. That's fine. The actual matchmaking itself, I believe, is better than the previous Uncharted from memory. Of course, if I go back playing Uncharted 2 and 3 right now, the matchmaking is not going to be as great, especially for 2, because not many people play them anymore. I actually played Uncharted 3 the day before the beta came out, and it was still pretty active. There was still a fair few people playing. I was still able to get like trophies and whatnot. For the online stuff. But yeah, the matchmaking definitely seems better this time around, a lot faster. It's hard to judge because my internet personally is pretty crap, but oh well, that's just my opinion. That's what it seems like to me. The customization options, it's all fine. Your regular hats and taunts and stuff. Yeah, it's just the general stuff. Now, the thing with this beta specifically, you have 2 types of currencies. It looks like you got relics, which the icon for it is like a purple or pink. Maybe I'm colorblind. Shut up. But yeah, it's kind of like a darker, more purple pinkish color, and you can find 1 or 2 relics, maybe a game if you're lucky, through treasures or certain kills or whatever. But other times, by completing these challenges, they give you little challenges like 10 downs with grenades or something like that every day. If you complete that challenge, you get another 50, and that is actually the perfect price, 50, to buy like a chest, which gives you 3 random items out of those taunts, hats, or yeah, all of that. or clothing, like tuxedo Drake or something like that. And typically you can buy those individually, like out of your choice with those. The yellow pirate coins, that also seems to be currency. They give you, I think, 150 when you start the beta, but it doesn't seem to be any way to get them. So the only way to actually unlock stuff in this beta specifically is to find these relics and complete the challenges and just open up your random bag of chest tricks and then, hope you get something good out of the drawer. Now the last 3 that I've opened have only given me taunts. It's a bit disappointing. I want a tuxedo Sully. I want Jungle Elena. Or, I want tuxedo Cutter or Sam, or I want all of that, and I keep just getting taunts, which is fine. But oh well. Now that's just for the beta. Also exclusively for the beta, you've got you can only go up to level 8, and then from that point you need like $9,999 or $9,999,999 to level up, and I don't even know if that's. It's probably possible to get to that number before the beta ends, but very, very tricky. Probably a waste of your life or time. And what would happen? Would you still be stuck at level 8, or would you just go to level 9, where the cap's even higher? There's no point. So the level cap's basically 8, and has no real, purpose in the beta. So it's just there to show you, hey, that's how you level up. You get cash, blah, blah, blah. So there's all sorts of different currencies in the game, which, I'm sure it's easy to keep track of in the actual full game. It's just, a lot of it just seems redundant in this beta, especially since the level cap is so low and you can't seem to get any of those pirate coins. The only way to actually unlock anything is to find relics and beat challenges. Anyway, moving on from that, the character models themselves, they all look great. Just beautiful PlayStation 4 character models for, Drake and Sully, Elena, Catherine Marlowe, Harry Flynn, Lazarevich, Sam, all of that. They all look fucking great, and all their extra hats and costumes and shit look great as well. And of course, the voice acting is superb as always. The one thing I didn't think was a problem until I actually started hearing his voice was Harry Flynn. He's got a different voice. He's being recast, it sounds like, and it's a little annoying. It's not Flynn. It's like, damn it, come on. That's the only little thing that's bugging me there, but it's not a big deal at all. You just don't have to play as Flynn. That's it. Another little thing I've noticed is that usually you would pick, in Uncharted 2 and 3, you can pick your hero and your villain character, and then you would just play them in the game, and you can change them later on. In this one, you have to select which character you want right before the game starts. So, you can't vote for your map. It picks the map for you automatically, and then from there, you got to pick your character. You got like 5-10 seconds to do that next to your loadout out of the heroes and villains. And, that's fine. You've got enough time to kind of pick, who do I want to play as today, blah, 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 that's fine. The only thing is that once the beta finishes, and maybe we'll get the full game and there's a lot more characters to play around with, maybe there'll be so many characters on one screen, you would need more than 10 seconds to pick. I don't know, but that's just observation. Doesn't really matter. Speaking of which, Nadine, Chloe, and Eddie, where are those 3? Hopefully they're added a little later into the beta. We saw Chloe and Eddie in the the multiplayer trailer. Why aren't they in the beta? That's sad. And we've all met Nadine now this past week, and we all know who she is. Might as well have her in there too. Why not? Anyway, so now we're going to get into the actual gameplay specific stuff. I'm sorry I spent so long talking about menus and character models and shit like that, but want to get through it all. Want to be in depth as possible. And I got 2 matches to get through. 20 minutes. Why not? Anyway, so now into the balancing, the actual gameplay itself, and how balanced is this? Because Uncharted 3 especially got a lot of crap for being unbalanced. So let's see how we do. So the weapon loadouts, it's taken away from the Last of Us kind of idea of you have loadout points that you can spend, and you can get whatever you want in your loadout. Your long gun, your short arm gun, your mystics, and all of that. You can get all that crap through your loadout points. But obviously, there's a cap on your loadout point, so eventually you're going to hit that cap and you won't be able to get any more stuff unless you start replacing different things like, your guns or your specials or whatever. So it's a good system, and it's pretty well balanced money-wise. The actual shooting itself, the gunplay in this game is excellent. It is, in my opinion, it is excellent. Now, you may have noticed if you watch trailers and that, or this gameplay, that what happens is you have this tiny little reticule when you aim down your sights, and then you have a little dot that basically that's where you're hitting inside that reticule that just kind of sprays within that reticule. And it might actually, I was a little worried watching it saying, Ooh, it seems still a bit random, like aiming might be really hard, but it actually isn't. It looks a lot more chaotic than it actually is, and aiming is, if you got good aim in this game, you're gonna have a really good time. Aiming is key to this game, and it's just well done. It is. A lot of people have problems with the shooting in Uncharted. I think this game's gonna fix their problems because I absolutely adore the shooting in this game. Well done, and of course, the blind firing has definitely been tweaked from Uncharted 3. Not as easy. The actual melee fighting, you need 3 hits to down, and it's a lot easier to get out of them. Barrel rolling in this game is so goddamn effective. And I'll get to that more in a second, but barrel rolling, like, clicking circle to, roll out of the way is so damn effective, both melee and trying to avoid, being shot at. So damn effective in this game. Now, let's get into the mystics and the sidekicks and all of that extra shit. The mystics are okay in terms of balance. Mostly people, you got the Wrath of El Dorado, where you kind of throw this little trinket thing or whatever. It turns into the big statue, and these little demon things fly at and cause damage to the people around them. Now, it's pretty easy to get out of there. It does its job. The main idea of the El Dorado, the Wrath of El Dorado, is to kind of get people to stop kind of camping and hiding where they are. And for its hit damage and all of that, it's a pretty good way of doing it. I think there needs to be a little more work on the restrictions, and what I mean by that is that each person can only use the Wrath of El Dorado, and I'm pretty sure all the other mystics twice, maybe 3 times per game. I'm not 100% sure on that, and I get that if you change how many times everyone uses it as a collective team, that could screw someone over who uses money to buy the mystic, and then they're not allowed to use it because someone else has used it. I know you can't really do anything about that, but it still feels like it's used way too often. I've seen the El Dorado shit come up like 6-7 times in one game, and it just gets kind of ridiculous at that point, and just doesn't help with the chaoticness. But it's fine. The mystics are mostly fine. The one that pisses me off the most is the Jinn one, only because I don't use them. People keep killing me with it. Although, to be fair, the Jinn power doesn't actually, it sets them on fire, and they can kind of run around and do melees faster and shit, but they can't go into cover, etc. But what I realized is it doesn't actually affect their health. If you shoot them just as much as you shoot a normal person, they're going to be down just the same. So they've done a pretty good job at balancing out these mystics. Maybe a little bit more tweaking, but other than that, I think they've done a pretty decent job with that. The one thing that does piss me off pretty greatly is the sidekicks. Now, I don't really use sidekicks, and what the sidekicks are, if you don't know, is you can call in a person with a specialty, to like a sniper or a brute with like a little minigun, or someone who can like choke you, or basically a medic to revive you if you're down. You can call all these sidekicks in. I personally hate them. I hate being killed or being drawn away by an AI in a fucking multiplayer game. I just hate that, and I'm not saying get rid of them entirely, but I don't know. The more than anything else, my biggest complaint with this is the AI characters. They don't fucking belong in the multiplayer. I'm sorry, they just don't, and it's a pain in the ass. And to be fair, I'm happy with the way they're treated, as in they can go down just like a normal person. Like, it doesn't take a lot of shots to kill them. Meleeing them actually works pretty effectively. Maybe not the brute, but melees work pretty effectively. You can actually pull down and kick down sidekicks, and it actually works and kills them instantly. But I like that treatment with them. But other than that, I just hate the fact that there's AI running around, kind of changing the game up. It's just not fair. Even when it's affecting my team, when I got like a choker on my team who's caused like 10 fucking kills for our team, it still kind of annoys me. I don't feel any better about that. I'm like, yeah, I still don't want AI here. That's the one thing that really kind of annoys me with the multiplayer. But other than that, yeah, again, mostly positive. So the mystics are mostly okay. The sidekicks, they're treating them right, but I still really hate their presence. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think we should move on a little quicker now. So a lot of things were borrowed from The Last of Us. One of them was the in-game store. So obviously you get an in-game store where you can purchase, your mystic or your RPG or your special or whatever, or upgrade your grenade, or get your sidekick. That all works within an in-game store with the money you earn in the game. You can spend it during the game. It's very quick. It's very fluent, and that's great. I love it. It's very well done. The controls as well. I love the controls. They're very different from the rest of the Uncharted games. The reload is now triangle, and you have to adjust the new button to do the rope swing and all of that. You get used to them quickly. It was just a bit of a learning curve to do triangle as reload, because reload was never a face button before, so that took a bit of getting used to. But I'm fine with the controls. I'm good with them now. They're great. But yeah, I got a message. So anyway, another thing I want to say: a lot of people are worried about the the little trick where you're swinging along the rope and then you land on someone and it's an instant KO. Yeah, it is an instant KO. I think it's fair though, because it doesn't happen that often, and it's pretty easy to escape. All you have to do is barrel roll, and you can avoid that jump pretty easily. It works best when people don't even know that you're about to land on top of them. If they know you're jumping right on top of them, they can barrel roll, they can shoot you, you can do whatever. It's fair. It's a fair thing. I just felt like I needed to point that out. Now, speaking of the rope swing, that and the mudslides are two new additions into the Uncharted gameplay formula. God damn this phone. And they're both absolutely fantastic. The rope swing is just fucking awesome. I love just swinging around. I love getting kills while swinging around. That's just the best feeling, because it feels like you're trolling the douchebag so hard. The way you can use it in a vertical scale, where you can basically, I was going to say transport, but basically the way you can move around the map using the rope swing is excellent. Same for mudslides. Mudslides are great for, kind of a quick escape, or, just trapping people in a way. They're both excellently put into all these maps, which themselves are very well designed. I'll get back to those in a minute as well. But both the rope swing and the mudslides, excellent additions to the multiplayer, and I'm so glad that they're there. Now, going back to what I was saying before about barrel rolling. Barrel rolling is so damn effective, because this game can get really, even more so than the previous games, this multiplayer can get really, really chaotic at times. There's just a lot of bombs and explosions and psychics running around and brute shooting and everyone else shooting and just all this craziness happening. But I feel like the fact that the circle bar and the barrel rolling is so effective to kind of getting out of someone's aim, or getting out of someone's melee fire, or getting out of situations where, before barrel roll was just like, oh look, I can, barrel roll, cool, or it's just a fun way to move around other than running. But no, barrel roll is incredibly effective this time in evading pretty much anything, and that really helps kind of make everything within the chaotic environment feel a bit more controllable, where it's all chaotic, but it's pretty easy to escape at times just by barrel rolling and jumping around and knowing how to move in a great way in that game. It's really effective, and I say kudos to Naughty Dog, because that barrel roll is a lifesaver, literally, in this game. But yeah, I mean, the gameplay gets so chaotic, but I'll say 95% of the time, within all the chaos that is bound to happen in some parts of the map, it's enjoyable and you can play through it. Like, you can get through this chaos and still know what you're doing. Like, okay, there's explosions and shit and all this crazy crap going everywhere, but if you're good at the game, you don't even have to be that good at the game. It's easy to navigate yourself through this chaos where, there's like 3 people shooting at you, whatever, but there's so much you can do to you can either avoid it or throw a mystic at them, or, shoot them, because shooting is a really effective thing in this game. It's the chaos is just so fun, because it's actually not chaotic to the point where it's going to ruin the game and you're going to just be destroyed. You're not going to be killed in the chaos. This is going to be chaos around, and you're going to be killed just the way you're going to be killed. But I just love it, how fluent everything feels about this game. It's so damn fluent, because if it wasn't for that, all the chaos wouldn't work. And of course, the way the game flows, all the animations flow properly and everything. I just can't explain it, but the game flows so damn well, and it's only enhanced by the fact that it's 60 frames per second. My god, beautiful 60 frames per second. Thank you, Naughty Dog, for sacrificing a few pixels for that 60 FPS. And the graphics, the game still looks beyond fucking beautiful already as it is. So, no complaining. Another thing they took from the down system, another thing they took from The Last of Us, is the down system, where you get down. And it surprisingly works really well in the Uncharted universe. And one thing I really love is that finally, when you're reviving someone, you can actually move around while reviving. Because sometimes the person you're reviving, they crawl off, they don't realize you're reviving them. Revive stops, you've just wasted time. Now you can actually move around while reviving them, so if they're walking away, you can still follow them, maybe if they're going into cover because they've been shot at. It's just like a little thing that just helps so much with making it feel fair. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else. The actual game itself, like the teamwork that you have around you is a healthy dose of it, where you can go around and kind of just own the match yourself. but there is a healthy level of teamwork required to kind of play the game properly. When I say healthy, I mean it's not completely necessary, but it's pretty easy for everyone to get in the mindset of helping each other out, and teamwork definitely helps in a game like this. Another little thing is that at times you see the little, disconnection icon come up in the middle of the screen when you got a bit of lag and your character will freeze. In previous Naughty Dog games, including The Last of Us, what would happen was that would come up, you would instantly freeze, and then the icon would disappear, and you're still frozen for about 3 seconds before you can move again. And obviously, in intense situations, that's horrible. Now, you're still going to get that icon, you're still going to freeze on the spot, but you're going to be able to move the second the icon goes away. So whenever whenever that lag happens and you freeze on the spot, compared to the rest of the games, you're going to get back to moving quicker, which softens the blow, I guess, if anything. But I felt that was important to say because it happens to me a lot, and I know that happens to other people as well. So I know I went a little over on this video, but hey, I wanted to be in-depth, and I gave you as much in-depth as I can. The sound quality is excellent as always. Thank you, Naughty Dog. Amazing stuff. Before I kind of conclude, again, map design, it's awesome. It reminds me of Uncharted 2, where I believe the way Uncharted 2's maps were designed was that essentially there were the 2 bases that the heroes and the villains would spawn at. And by the way, in Uncharted 2 and 3, you would all spawn. I think in The Last of Us as well. The heroes and the villains would all spawn in the same part of the map every single game because that was just their base and that's where they started. Now in Uncharted 4, your team spawns for the first time in the game in random places around the map. So you don't instantly know where the other team is because okay, this team will spawn here, this team will spawn here. It's random now, which, it just helps with kind of getting the game started. You don't know where you all are. You're not all going to run to the same place. But even with that, the maps are still designed similarly, at least from what I can tell, from both Island and Madagascar City. Is that there's basically 2 sides, there's 2 bases, if you will, of the map, and then the middle battleground, if you will. So, example for Island, you will have you'll have one end of the side near the cliff, and that's where you can kind of climb up all those pillars and there's a little rope there. And then you got the other side, which is a more straightforward mud area that you can run forward, and then you got the middle ground where everyone can use the rope to swing into that little middle zone and everything leading from there. It's a little hard to explain, but if you know what I'm talking about, like the maps seem to have that Uncharted 2 level design where there's like the 2 bases and then the middle battleground, and it's cool. I mean, the maps themselves, the way they've integrated the the mudslides and the rope swings and all of that, and all these little mechanics put together, it's fantastic. These maps are so damn well designed. I can't thank Naughty Dog enough for their work on this. So that's essentially everything I had to say, as I recall. I feel like there was something I was forgetting to say, but no, that's about it. I don't want to go any longer there. The last thing I just want to say, or 2 things really, is number 1, this game is incredibly addicting. I played so many damn matches of this lately. It is so fun. It's a really fun, addicting multiplayer. One of the best I've played in years. Thank you, Naughty Dog, for yet again delivering a multiplayer, because you most of the time do a brilliant job at doing a multiplayer next to your fantastic single players as well. And speaking of the single player, why the hell did you show almost 10 minutes of story cutscenes the same weekend the beta comes out? Like, okay, we're excited to play the multiplayer, but then you show all this new story stuff, and now we want to play the damn story. Why would you do that in the same... Damn it. God damn you, Naughty Dog. But seriously, this multiplayer is absolutely phenomenal. A little tweaking with the sidekicks and the mystics and some of that stuff, but for the most part, so far what we got, excellent multiplayer. Very well balanced in my opinion. I've been doing very well at the game, and I've had my shitty days as well, but hey, that's just multiplayer. That's just how it is. Props to Naughty Dog, you made one hell of a multiplayer. Hopefully the majority of this stays and you make the right tweaks before launch, and all's will be well with the world. Now, you did get a sneak peek of the 3rd game, because I did go over 20 minutes, sorry, surprisingly. But again, I wanted to be in depth, and those are my first impressions. I might not even have to do an actual review later, because I think I dived into everything I really needed to. So yeah, so definitely check out that hour-long Uncharted 4 video I did with commentary. I'm going to see if I can do other commentaries and upload just random matches, some of my best matches if you will. Just upload them, some with commentary, some without. Just enjoy them. Yeah, I'll upload my best of matches if you will. But yeah, that was my first impressions overall. extremely happy with Uncharted 4's multiplayer. It is addicting, it is a blast, it is beautiful, it flows so elegantly at 60 frames per second, and the chaos is the perfect level of chaos. It's just fun. It is insane fun, and I recommend it to everyone. So thanks for watching. I'm Mega Gamer, and see you around.